And former President Trump won't be on stage tonight for the second Republican primary debate, but 7 other candidates have now qualified. Ron DeSantis, Vivek Ramaswamy, Nikki Haley, Mike Pence, Tim Scott, Christie, and Doug Burgum are set to face off at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in California. Let's bring in Galen Druk from ABC's 538, along with ABC's Zohreen Shah in Simi Valley, California, for more. Zohreen, how have the candidates been preparing for tonight's contest?
So, Diane, Mike Pence tells us that he's going to get in a workout, do some light prep, and then spend some time with family. Vivek, for his part, says he's going to be sparring and prepping with his spokesperson, his senior advisor, his campaign CEO. But a lot of the other candidates have been really quiet this time around on what exactly they're doing today. And perhaps strategically, they don't want to seem too rehearsed, right? Or that they're huddling with these high-paid consultants and practicing. You know, you remember Christie last time around at the debate called Vivek Ramaswamy ChatGPT, right? They don't want to seem like they're spending the entire day planning. So we haven't heard exactly what the other candidates are doing, but likely they're doing the same thing, Diane.
Now, Zohreen, strategists expect more candidates to drop out before the next debate. What's at stake for some of these candidates tonight, the ones who are lagging behind?
There's a lot at stake for them. I mean, you have Doug Burgum. He barely made it to this debate. At the 11th hour, he finally made it on Monday, but he says he's going to be in until Iowa. The qualifications for this debate this time, 50,000 total donors, 3% in 3 national polls or early state polls. And the next debate, you have to actually get 70,000 donors. And in two national or early state polls, 4% or higher. But look, honestly, in most polls, Trump is ahead by about 40 points. His lead keeps growing. And so experts believe these candidates tonight, they are running for vice president. And it means we're going to hear probably a similar gentle tone toward Donald Trump tonight.
So, Galen, where does this race stand going into the second debate in terms of the poll numbers? We saw a little bit of a bump after the first one. Where are we now?
Diane, the standing is not all that much changed since earlier this summer, honestly. Donald Trump is still polling at around 55%. DeSantis is 40 points behind him at about 15%. But the notable change that we have seen is Nikki Haley and Ramaswamy. After that first debate, we saw that a lot of the attacks were pointed at Ramaswamy, and Nikki Haley was generally thought of as doing a good job. And so just recently, for the first time, Haley has supplanted Ramaswamy as third in 538's polling averages. Now, she's still only at about 6%, and Ramaswamy is just slightly behind her. But in a race that's been relatively stagnant, that's still notable. What I'll say is that in order for these dynamics to change, something significant is going to have to happen. Donald Trump is still the #1 news story in electoral politics in America. And if these candidates want to gain traction, they have to change the subject. They have to get the attention on them so voters are even thinking about them. You know, I've been in Simi Valley talking with Republican voters, and a lot of them say they're not even familiar with the other candidates running. And so that's going to be a big hurdle to get over, something that they're really going to try to do tonight.
So, being these are all Republican candidates, Galen, what are you hearing from voters about the key issues they're listening for?
Yeah, so Simi Valley itself is on a knife's edge politically. You could call it a bellwether city. It voted for Joe Biden, a Democrat, for the first time in its history as a city in 2020. Before that, it had only voted for Republicans, and Biden only won by, less than a percentage point. So this is a pretty politically divided place and indicative of maybe some of the battles that are going to be fought over the coming year in the election. What I heard a lot from folks is the economy, the economy, the economy. Gas prices in this part of California are approaching $7 for a gallon. So you hear a lot about the price of groceries and inflation in general. When it comes to some cultural issues, I heard plenty, unprompted, about transgender kids' issues in schools from parents saying, they're worried about their kids. That's a live issue in California because it's a pretty democratic state. And so statewide, you hear a lot about that. But then in some of these maybe redder or more purple communities, there's a lot of consternation about it. And one other thing you hear, which is a local issue as well and might not actually be changed much on the national level, is homelessness. Of course, in the LA area, which is where Simi Valley is, there is a high level of homelessness, and it's been increasing. And it's kind of taken over local politics. You know, in the Los Angeles mayor's race, we heard all about that recently. So we will see if the candidates tonight talk about some of these local issues to California, or if they stay focused on maybe more national issues.
All right, Galen Druk, Zoreen Shah, thank you both.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.